And away we go. It is the Nightcap, Thursday edition, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Brought to you, as always, by Hail Mary Sports Bar, located in Cheviot, right on Harrison Avenue. They're in the Dora District. You can go from bar to bar with your drinks, but why do that when you can just stay at Hail Mary? They have 27 TVs, 3 facing outside, a 9-screen video wall. There's not a bad seat in the house. They subscribe to all the sports packages. They can stream all the games, and Cincinnati sports will always be on the video wall. They have a brand new walk-in cooler, brand new draft lines, and not only do they pour the coldest beer around, but they do so in 32.8 degree beer frosted glasses. Get out and see our good friends at Hail Mary Sports Bar in Cheviot. All right, Aaron, how's the voice? How are we doing?
We'll see.
You seem a little better today. You got a little more life, a little more color.
Sure.
I mean, you don't look like you're struggling as bad as the last couple of days, is all I'm saying.
Well, thank
you might still be struggling, but you look a little better.
I was going to say, I feel like that's a backhanded compliment.
I mean, you've been sick for like a week and a half. Of course you haven't looked good.
So dumb. So dumb how long I've been sick.
I know. I'm saying you look like you're finally on the road to recovery. That's all I'm saying.
On the mend. Caught on the mend.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's Thursday. It's 3 Keys Thursday. As the Bearcats get ready to take on Miami, we'll have a little bit more to talk about in terms of the future of playing Miami when we get through this. But as always, turn it over to you for your 3 keys.
Appreciate you. My 3 keys. Number 1, give the ball to Corey Kiner. Let's not mess that up again. It's pretty easy. I think that, truthfully, I think that if this team is going to win, I would almost venture to guess that if they give Corey Kiner 25 to 30 touches, this team is going to win more often than it will lose. And I think that if they want to beat Miami, they want to beat Miami handily, it's going to be because they didn't fuck around at the end of the game, and instead they just gave the ball to Corey Kiner.
That's the thing. Fourth quarter, load up on your horse. I don't think you have to give it to him 8 times a quarter, but in the fourth quarter, if you have a lead, give the ball to the guy that got you there.
Just saying.
Agreed.
Number 2, keep Miami's offense one-dimensional. There's absolutely no reason for anyone with the last name Gabbert to look like a mobile quarterback at any point in time. And we've already seen that once before. And I don't ever want to see it again. I don't want to see that on Saturday. I want to see.
You don't want to see it when they play again in 2016 or 26 and he's still the quarterback?
Good God. But I think that if you can limit Blaine Gabbert to being one-dimensional, and I don't know that Miami has a run game to be concerned with. That said, you've given Miami every reason to believe they have a run game to be concerned with, given the tape that you've put out thus far on this season. So you've got to figure out one way or the other to keep Miami one-dimensional and kind of limit their offense.
Yeah, sack adjusted, they ran for 62 yards against Northwestern. So you better be able to keep them at least moderately contained in the run game.
And number 3, special teams needs to start being special. I don't know what's been going on outside of Mason Fletcher with the special teams unit, but I really, really hope that Coach Kerry Combs has started to batten down the hatches and figure out what is going on with this special teams unit. Because as of right now, I've seen nothing that, outside of Mason Fletcher, that this should be called anything more than a teams unit. Just a teams unit.
The key there, Aaron, is Miami's really good in the red zone. And there's a chance if you get into that area, they're going to force you to kick a field goal. You better get your 3 points. Now, you don't want to settle for that, but, if you're in those situations, we saw how critical it ended up being in the Pitt game. You better get your 3 points and keep it moving.
I want to see this team's unit graduate to special.
I can't help it. It's so funny. Oh boy. All right. Let's get to mine. Here we go. Splash City. Like I just said, Splash. Like I just said, Miami is very good in the red zone. The one way to keep their red zone defense from being extraordinary is to score without entering the red zone. We have seen Brendan Sorsby have nice touch on the deep ball. We have seen this offense be able to score from distance. We need to see more of that because Miami's defense will give up yards. And we saw that last year. They gave up. Sure. Cincinnati marched up and down the field. They just didn't put points on the board.
Right.
So maybe you start looking at being a little bit more aggressive when you're 30, 35 yards out, and you start dialing up maybe some things that can score from distance so that you're not trying to grind it out. Because look, this again, the offense has been better in the red zone this year, but they still haven't been good. So get some splash plays. Score from considerable chunks of yardage away to where Miami doesn't get in their comfort zone and get to shrink the field on you in the red zone.
My chunk plays.
Your Aaron chunk plays, not 15 to 20 yards,
Hell
35 to 40 yards. Control the run. Very similar to what you just said. This is not a Miami team that is dynamic running the football. They cannot have 180, 190, 200 yards on the ground in this game. You have got to take that aspect away and then hopefully get a lead to force them to be one-dimensional where you can kind of key on stopping their passing attack. I think that is critical. And then put it away. Don't play with your food. I should have been don't play with your food. Should have been third key to victory. If you get up 27-6, guess what? Make it 34-6. Continue putting points on the board. Keep going.
Yes.
Do not get into a shell.
There's no reason for that. The rest of the season, I don't want to see it ever again. Ever.
Because if you don't put it away, you give it away. Like they gave away the game to Pitt because one more score would have put that thing out of reach and would have given Cincinnati a victory. So there you go. I think they win by, for whatever this team would be considered a comfortable margin, like 10, 14. I do think
that's not a comfortable margin.
I said for this team.
That shouldn't even be the line of demarcation. It should be better than that. It needs to be better than that.
Baby steps, Aaron. It's not. We might want it to be better, but right now, this is a team that's won like, what, 2 FCS games in a year and like a year plus. So yeah, you gotta be better. They beat Pitt last year. They beat Houston last year. Those are the only wins over FCS teams that this program has under Scott Satterfield. Go win. I don't want to. I'm not going to say win by 1 and get on the bus. I want this to be better than that, because if they win by 1, yeah, they won, but nobody's going to be happy around here next week. And I'm ready to get back to being happy.
Yeah,
I don't like being angry when the microphone is on.
My voice can't take being angry.
You couldn't be angry if you wanted to right now.
I really couldn't. It would probably be more comical than anything.
It would be kind of funny. So news today, as I was, Kelsey played at 5, and then you have to wait to bring her home until the varsity plays, and then, come home. And I got a call, been, kind of sniffing around here, and there is. It feels like the talks are at a point where this is something that's going to happen, or at least very likely to happen. Cincinnati and Miami are trying to find a way to not completely make the series go away, to not completely kill the rivalry. And it sounds like the answer to that is every couple years, 3 years, whatever, playing a neutral site game to keep things alive. Everybody's up in arms. Whatever. It's kind of, it doesn't, I don't really care either way. If they play every 3 years at a neutral site, I'm not going to be outraged about it. Like, if the series continued as it was, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't know that playing every 3 years like changes a whole lot. I do know it still fits into, they want to play one FCS team, they want to play one group of 5 team, and they want to play a Power 5 team. That is the long-term plan for scheduling with a 9-game Big 12 schedule. If every 3 years that is Miami at a neutral site, okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like, it doesn't really move the needle for me.
We're going back to Paycor.
I don't know. It didn't sound like it.
Which leaves me to wonder, where else do you play this game? The Pit?
No. I mean, I guess there is another pro stadium in town.
What, the TQL?
I don't know.
Are they allowed to play? I don't even know what the rules are. I know there's certain rules with the soccer stadiums and what have you.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe that's one of those, we let you play here for so long, you can let us play there.
Well, what is on the field? This is just me connecting dots here. What is on the field at Nippert Stadium?
TQL, I get it. I understand.
What is the name of the stadium for the soccer team?
Look, I understand. I'm just saying I don't know what the rules are as far as soccer stadiums and being allowed to be used for other things, especially with that being a grass turf.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
Yeah, I don't know either. That was just me thinking out loud. If it's not going to be at Paycor, then, TQL would actually be kind of cool. Like, that's a pretty cool stadium. I don't have a lot of love for FC Cincinnati, but the stadium's nice. It'd be a nice place to go watch a football game if that was how it ever played out. I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, if we're looking at this, 2026 is going to be the last game. So would it be 3 years after that? Are we talking like 2029 before?
I guess I just think the idea of playing at a neutral site, even, I don't understand how Miami has this upper hand that they get to control. Like, well, the only way that we're going to play you is if we play you at a neutral site, but we still also want $1 million.
Well, no, I'm sure if they've said we'll come to Nippert Stadium, but it's going to cost you $1.3 million or whatever the cost of a buy game is, a neutral site would, it would be on the, I would guess, again, me thinking out loud, a neutral site game would probably be ran by maybe an outside entity or a promoter. Both teams would get a guarantee. Neither team would have money come out of their pocket. Like, that's would make sense, I guess. As opposed to, like, we do it one time and then you do it the next time. That sounds dumb. I
agree. I think it should just be, we've gotten to a bigger place. It should just be Cincinnati's in control of this, and that's it.
But Aaron, if Cincinnati is in control of this, you're paying Miami a lot of money to come to Nippert Stadium. UC's never going back to Yager Stadium after Saturday.
They're also going to be paying whoever else in any other year to come to Nippert Stadium in that same buy game. So
yeah, sure.
I guess
you just don't want to give Miami that money.
I don't.
Right. So then every 3 years, you wouldn't be out of pocket for the cost of a buy game. You would have a neutral site game. So it would potentially be cost effective for the athletic department.
Keep the rivalry alive, I guess. Whatever. I think it should
Like I
just
said,
it should just be played at Nippert.
yeah. Keyshawn Tillery in town, 4-star lead guard, really, really good out of the NEPSAC, the New England Prep School Association, New England Prep Athletic Conference, or whatever it is. So that's a big one for Wes Miller. I think they're in a pretty good spot. They're battling, but in a decent spot to make their pitch this weekend. I think I heard there might be at the Boathouse tomorrow. If you're at the Boathouse tomorrow night, say hi to Keyshawn Tillery. Dap him up. Give him a go Bearcats. We're at 16 minutes. You really want to talk about this Pac-2 stuff? I don't care.
I mean, they stayed alive. They managed to weather the storm.
The big thing is for me, they're not a power conference anymore. They're not an autonomous conference anymore. So it'll be the G6 now. So for me, it doesn't really move the needle. You're just moving around pieces on the chessboard.
I did see someone say that Mike Oresco is probably the happiest person about all of this because he vowed that they would never call it the G5, and now they don't have to.
Yeah, now they'll call it the G6. Congratulations, Mike. That's going to wrap it up. I'm not sure. You might be with Keegan Saturday. I'm going to be in Elizabethtown late. We'll figure that out. That's the Nightcap, brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.